So welcome to TechnoDadLife, where we build, learn, and create as a community. And on today's episode, we're going to be installing Krusader, which is a file management program, so you can back up, copy, move files, just like the command line program Midnight Commander. Only this one has a UI, so you can use your mouse and do it. And so what we're going to be doing is copying and moving files, and then we're also going to be backing up our server to actually another Openmediavault server. And Krusader is very efficient at that. I'd like to put a shout out to the community there. I'd like to do a series of videos about gaming on Openmediavault. And I'm wondering if somebody has an old bit mining card. It has to be a modern card so that we can game on Openmediavault. And if you do, contact me down below or on the Openmediavault forums, and because I'd like to do those videos soon. And as always, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And here we go now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is type in Krusader. And we're going to click on the bin hex Arch Krusader. And we're going to press start to install that. Once that's done, click close. And so the first thing we're going to do is click info. And so the bin hex Dockers are a little different than the Linux server Dockers. These ones are basically designed for a template for Unraid, so we just have to modify things a little bit. So if you look at our example here, we need to have two ports, so 5900 and 6008. We're going to name our container Krusader. We're going to put it in privileged mode. And then we need to have our time set to local time, which is automatically done in Openmediavault. We need a config file and a temp file. And then we also, what it doesn't have here is we need to access our files. And so we're going to have a couple of different ones there. Next, we have to put a web page title for some reason, a password. And so the next three things, so normally we put PUID and GUID or PGID as our user on our machine, but for this container we have to run in root mode, and so that's why these two things are 0. UMass means we can read writes on to our disks, which we're going to need to move things back and forth. So now we're going to make sure that's highlighted, and we're going to click run image. And our container name is Krusader. We're going to put that restart always and run in privilege mode. We're going to leave it in bridge mode, and we're just going to make sure we have port 5900 and 6080. And then hit the plus sign next to those. And so why do we have two ports? We have 5900 and 6080. And so 5900 is used for VNC and 6080 is for when you don't have VNC. And so for us, we're actually going to use VNC, and we're going to use a simple little program to do that. Now we're going to go down to environmental variables. And so the first one we want to put in web page title. And so basically, for some reason, Conqueror needs a name for the web page. So we're going to call ours Elite, then hit the plus sign. So next we're going to put in a password for VNC, and so VNC is a small program which then is going to let us sort of SSH, or basically go into our server and use a web page to manipulate the program. So we're just going to call that TechnoDadLife, and then we're going to hit plus. And the next thing we need to do is set a location for the temp folder, because it's not naturally set forward in the templates. And we're just going to use what he suggested, which is config Krusader temp, and then hit the plus sign. Okay, next we're going to hit the slash, and we're going to hit the config Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to go to our network and go to our server. This is our elite server. Go to app data, add a Krusader folder, and then go back to host path. Go to shared folders, go to app data, and then click on Krusader and OK, and then hit the plus sign. We're going to add two folders. First, we're going to add in boot, and we're going to capitalize it so we can find it easier later. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to copy our boot folder there. So that way we can easily back up our boot drive to another server. I'm going to click plus there. Next, we're going to create a folder named shared folders, and we're going to hit the plus line, and we're just going to hit shared folders and OK, and this way we can access all our shared folders. Hit the plus sign again, and if we hit the last one, you can see there's a data folder, but we're using shared folders instead of data folder instead, so we're not going to use that. And then we're going to scroll down and click save. So next we're going to open a new tab, and we're going to type in VNC for Google Chrome and hit enter. We're going to click on download VNC for Google Chrome. And so here you would install it. I already installed, so I'm just going to click launch app. And so there it opens, and I just wanted to show you two things. So if you don't have that, the easiest way to find it is go into your suggestion box here and click on VNC Viewer for Chrome. It comes right up, and you can open it that way. Okay, so the next thing what we're going to do is go back to the bin hex, and we're going to look at how to access our client. And here you can see access via VNC client, and so what we're gonna most worried about is this little section here. And so we're going to put in our IP address, and then we're going to put in ::5900. So we go back to VNC. We're going to copy our IP address and paste it in there. And for this, we don't want that first part, the HTTP / part. And we're going to go to the end, put : :5900. And then click connect, and we're going to continue. We know it's not unencrypted, and now we have to put in our password. And so my password was TechnoDadLife, and then click OK, and then click OK again, and OK again, and we're going to make this big, and then click OK again, OK again, and then close. And so now we're to Krusader, and so we're going to expand this box here. And so the first thing we're going to do is click on the house sign there and go to root. And so two things here. There is our boot file, and there are our shared folders from our server. So these are outside of the Docker. And so if we double click on those, you can see we go in, and there's our system image and all the other things that go along with it. We hit the back button. We double click on our shared folders. So first I just wanted to show you something. Here I made a Krusader folder by clicking make directory. And you can see here it's under our shared folders. If we go to our shared folders on our network and we look, you can see it does not show up here. So next we'll do something different. We'll go to our media folder, and we'll make a directory here. We'll call it music, and then click OK. And now we're going to go back to our media folder, and you can see it does show there. So basically with Krusader, you can add folders to other folders. So like our app data, downloads, media, and they'll show up on our server. But if you try to make directories or shared folders, new shared folders like this one here, it does not work. So do not do that. Okay, so let's just make a few other folders here. Next, we'll make a books folder. Click OK, and again, if we go back to our network, you can see they all showed up here. So now I'm just going to take a second and put some things in those folders. Okay, so now if we go to the movies folder, we can see I have some files in here, but they are all PDFs. I accidentally put them in the wrong spot. So now if we go over to the movie folders here, and you can see there they are, and then we go over to the right hand side here, again click Root and Shared Folders, and then we go to Media, and we say those are books. So we have a couple options here. The first is highlighting and dragging and dropping those over. And so we have two choices. We can either move them here or copy them here. So let's just copy them here first. And there they magically appear. If we go back here, and now we go to the books folder, you can see there they are. So now we want to delete those, so we're going to highlight those, and then we're going to hit right click, and you have two choices here, delete or move to trash. We're going to put delete, and there you can see it deletes those. So now if we go to the movie directory, nothing there. We go back to the books directory, you can see it's there. So that's how we move, delete, and create files. The next thing we're going to do is access another server. And we're going to move some files from one server to the other server. Okay, so next we're going to go up to Tools, New Net Connection. We're going to change this to SMB if it hasn't been already. So this is the server we're on right now. You can see there's Krusader, and we go over to this one. This is Pi-hole. So we're going to copy the IP address, go back to our VNC server, paste that there, clean it up a little bit, and then type in root and our password. Then we're going to click connect. Over on this side you can see it now has a new IP address, and it only has 3 folders compared to the 4 folders on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take something from here and we're going to move it over here into these files. So we're going to click on our media folder, go over to our books. There are our PDFs. Go to a media folder here, books, no PDFs here. So we're going to click on one here, and we're just going to drag that over, and we're going to click copy here. And there you can see it copied over there. And so now what we can do is, let's do something a little different here. We're going to go up in this folder. So we're going to go back to media, and we have some photos here. And so we're going to go up here, and let's go over, actually first let's create a new folder. Create new folder. We'll call that photos. Click OK. Open up that folder, and let's, instead of copying, let's actually move that over entirely. So move here. And so now you can see it's missing from this server and now on this server. And we can actually do the same thing back again. And we can just say copy here, and it will make a copy there. So we can do more than one copy here. So now another interesting thing we can do is if we go up to our media again and shared folders, what we can do is create backups from one server to the other. So let's do the same thing here. Okay. And so say we go over to our root file system. We have the boot folder. We can actually let's see, how about in our app data folder, we'll make a new folder, and we'll call that copy boot. Click OK, and then we'll open that up. And so now we can actually click on one and then select all. And then we can move those over here, and we're just going to copy that here. And so now we have a copy of our boot system on another server in case we ever need that back again. So if we go back to app data, there you can see the copy boot is, and we open it up, it's there. And so now actually we could just delete this all and then copy it back there again. So that's it for today. And so Krusader is a great way to copy files or backup files on your system, or move files from drive to drive, or actually copy your boot drive to another server. So as always, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.